This is Millennial Talk. Oh, hi. This is us. So, do we introduce?
Yeah.
How do
go for it?
This is me.
Tell me who you are.
My name is Amanda.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say my last name because I don't want people stalking me. Also, my last name is so uncommon. I don't want to tell.
Yeah, you would find her in a
You would
heartbeat.
find me. My mom tried to Facebook me the other day. She tried to go on Facebook and find something that I posted, but she typed in my name into Facebook and got another girl, and she's like, "This isn't you." And it was this girl that's completely opposite of me, long hair, probably straight. Her bio was I'm happy when I'm happy. I'm mad when I'm mad. Literally, that was her bio. And I was like, what is this?
Mom, that's not
Who
me.
is sharing my name? This is a disgrace.
I'm happy when I'm happy. Put that as my of my
bump.
tagline. I'm happy when I'm happy. I'm mad when I'm mad.
It was so ridiculous. I couldn't stop laughing. And then it was just her timeline photo was the beach, and I was just she had dark brunette hair, and it was one of those photos taken from that angle that's up, sort of not MySpace angle, but just a little,
just that angle that
just
we all
that
take
angle
because we know we look slightly thinner.
Yes,
from above.
yes. And I was just oh my god, this is ridiculous.
It's maybe you can't see my double chin from up there.
Basically that. And she was super skinny, and I'm just okay, cool, with a tank top on, and I was cool. It's definitely not me, and I'm mad that she's sharing my same name. But I don't know what else to say about myself.
How old are you? Do we want to talk about things like that? Are we just 20-somethings?
I'm 22.
22.
I forget that all the time.
Any life goals or aspirations you want
to not die?
Oh,
to not die young.
That is very fair.
I don't know. God, what are my goals? This is the problem that I have, is that I have no goals. No, my goal is I'm majoring in audio design and production. This chair is making a lot of noise. Audio design and production, which is basically just audio and engineer sort of idea for simpler terms. And I would love to do Foley for animated films. Amazing. And I would love to work for Disney, but I probably won't because I have too many tattoos, but it's fine.
But the thing that's cool about you, and that I love so much about you, is that you're so techie and so smart and could do so many great things in that aspect, but you're also so personable and have a really cool personality that's easy to connect with. And sometimes there's kind of a gap, not always.
Yeah, for sure.
But sometimes there's,
I feel anybody who's I'm not saying I'm smart, because I'm not.
She is.
Oh my God, no. I literally cannot do science or math for the life of me. But
my mom asked me to multiply 8 by 7 today,
I don't know what that is.
I
don't know what that is.
Genuinely just
what's 2 times 2? I don't know. 4, but no. So
the maths.
I've met a lot of people. I've had a lot of friends that are super, super smart, book smart, could basically define the biggest word in the dictionary, but they were lacked in people smart. Somebody would talk to them and they'd just be respond with one word, and then didn't communicate anymore, and couldn't get jobs because in an interview they don't talk. And I feel I'm the opposite of that. But like I said, I'm not smart. So
Jesus.
Not smart at all.
I don't agree
barely
with that
passed
at all.
I passed.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that, because smart, I think we can go on this for
Book
a long
smart.
time. We've been taught that smart is based on books in school, and that's just silly, because the 90% of the things that we learn in school we never use in life. So you could be really smart in school, and it literally translates into nothing in the real world. So I think we are looking at a pretty polarized term for smart that we've created.
I agree.
Is there anything else about you that you'd like to share?
I'm 5'1.5".
We are both pretty small people.
I like long walks on the beach. No, I'm just kidding. No, I definitely. Well, I kind of do.
I mean, if we're being honest, it's not
bad.
bad.
I really like dogs.
Yeah, you do really like dogs.
Love dogs. Love music. Love coffee.
There's a lot of things about dogs that I want you guys to know about Amanda, and we have a lot of time to discuss it.
I'm writing a book about dogs. You know
that is exactly what I wanted her to tell you guys.
It's literally, this is my summer goal, is to finish all the pictures that I have so far. So I don't want to tell the idea because I don't want anybody to know about it, but it's all about dogs, and I'm going to finish what I have so far already this summer, 2018. I don't know when summer ends, but yeah, that's my goal. I love dogs. I love music. My favorite band. We can just go over all my favorite music. I could talk about music for 5 hours.
Yeah, your entire wall is covered.
I like to collect vinyl records mainly because I'm a hipster. No,
for sure. No, you definitely are.
Oh, thank you.
You've got that style. It's cool. It's not like she's not saying hipster in like that way where it's like
I don't eat gluten.
It's definitely the gluten thing.
I'm literally allergic. I'm not a hipster. I'm literally allergic.
She actually has very bad reactions. So
I will die. My stomach will be upset for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's really hard to watch.
No, I ate half a pizza once, and a regular pizza, and my friend texted me like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm feeling a little weird. Why? What's up?" He's like, "You just ate half an entire regular pizza from the frozen section." And I was like, I've been tempted to eat gluten. The Gluten Diaries.
All right. What else you got for me?
I don't know. I'm boring.
You're not boring.
I'm just looking at my room and like trying to figure out what I can talk about.
There's so much in here.
So much.
You've got a fish?
Things. I have a fish. His name is Sasha.
Which is incredible.
Named after my favorite drag queen. I love Disney. If you ask me anything about Disney parks, I will know the answer.
It's so funny, your obsession with Disney, because I used to work for Disney.
When I found that out, I literally was like, oh my God.
Yeah, like we were destined to be best friends forever.
That was my dream to do that, but it just got away from me, and it just wouldn't be plausible for what everything that's going on in my life right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Also, I feel like it would ruin I know what happens. I've watched so many videos about the internship program, but I just don't want it to ruin my perception of Disney as well.
Sure. My perception is intact. You certainly learn a lot, but I love it. I loved it. I mean,
California.
I did Florida, and I actually had applied and reapplied when I graduated and almost moved back. I got the job. And almost went back, but I should have, but I kind of got pulled in another direction.
Yeah, it happens.
Went on a weird path, but yeah.
Okay, I play guitar. I played playing guitar for 12 years. Not that good. Just to make noise.
There's a quote from my favorite show that I've always
felt. What's your favorite show?
Well, probably
Grey's Anatomy.
I do love Grey's Anatomy. We could talk about that for days.
I don't know anything about it. So.
The OC, and it's a quote. The two main characters are Ryan and Seth is like my spirit animal in every way. He's totally neurotic and nerdy and just like loud and crazy. And Seth is talking about something, and Ryan says to him, he goes, "Sometimes I think you talk just to make like noise." And Seth was like, "Well, sometimes I do." Like, and that is exactly it. But carry on.
Oh God, I don't know anything else about me. Like everything about me is just disappearing from my mind. I think that's it. I think that's all we need to know about myself. Blowing your nose.
Yep. Sorry.
Are you gonna be okay?
Yeah, I'm totally fine.
God, I dropped it.
Well.
Do you need medicine?
No, I'm okay.
I honestly don't know what I have.
Maybe if I just have a few more drinks, I'll forget all
Dude,
about it.
I'm chugging this Henry's like I've been dehydrated all day.
I want to make sure we know that it is my goal to be relatively tipsy for every one of these.
I'm fine with that. I will be relatively high for all of them. We'll have like 2 sides. It's fine. I like to get high on the marijuana, the weed.
So that is another fun fact.
That is a fun fact. I will say I mainly do it because I have headaches and migraines, which is terrible. And sometimes I honestly, like the only times I honestly do it for fun is like when I'm out with friends. But everything else, I do it for myself, for my health, because I'm constantly in pain all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes I accidentally get too high and I send out really funny Snapchats. So
the funniest Snapchats. I hate myself on Snapchats. I need to start screenshotting them and come up with like a chronicle, like the
People have.
I'm almost kind of getting mad at myself now for all the missed opportunities.
You've had some good ones.
I've gotten some really good ones.
I don't know if you've gotten one since that bread filter has been back.
I haven't.
Oh my God, those because I literally it's just me like looks like I'm crying and it says I'm triggered. That's all that it says.
Oh my God,
that's great.
That is hysterical to me. So just to put out. So Amanda and I. So when did you start at work?
I remember my last day at Starbucks was the 19th of October. I was very sad. I literally cried.
So we've only known each other for, what, 6 months?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more
6
than
months, because it's almost 7 months now.
Yeah. So we haven't known each other for that long. But
I don't know what it was, but I remember like going on the floor with you and I was like, she got me.
She's a good one.
And then just like somebody at work was just like, you guys are partner in crime one day. And I was like, you right.
Yeah.
And then it just built off that.
We've just been partners in crime ever since. I really enjoy saying that we're sidekicks in love, because I feel like both of us are too nice to ever commit a crime. But I mean, I would totally freak out.
We could talk about the crimes that we've committed. I have no. Just kidding.
Let's begin. I'm like, what? Let me get the note on my phone. I've been chronicling them for some time now.
I got arrested. No, I'm just kidding.
I have never.
I've never been arrested. That's actually one of the questions we have that I was gonna.
Oh, that'll be
talk
fun.
About that. Yeah,
that'll be fun. So we've only known each other for like 6 months, but
it feels like a lifetime.
It does,
in a good way.
In a very good way. Not like oh god, I'm so sick of her. Like I've known her for a freaking lifetime. It's
it's like I could say something and you're like, I get you. And I'm like, thanks.
Yeah, I
can just give you a look and you're like, I completely understand.
I feel every vibe you're giving off.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about you.
My name's Ammo. I guess my
what's your legal name?
My legal name, my driver's license says that my name is Anna Marie. My mother gave me a very beautiful name.
It's really pretty.
I don't falter for it. But
I called you when I was getting trained and I was shadowing you. I called you Anna one time.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
No, so here's the thing. So let's preface this. So Anna Marie, my mother decided to make my life really complicated. It is 2 words, but it is my first name. I have a middle name separate from Anna Marie. But because there's a space in it, it is the natural assumption that it is just Anna as my first name.
That's what I did. I'm stupid.
And everybody does it. So this is what everybody does. So the first thing they do is they either call me Anna, or if they, like, you know, when you get quickly introduced to somebody, you're like, oh, my name is Anna Marie. People, when they try to recall it, you know, like you meet somebody, you say your name, and then they're like, everybody always comes back around the second time. They're like, you're Marianne, right? And I'm like, I get why you do that, because Anna Marie is not common and Marianne is, and you just flip it. So I get Marianne a lot, or people that call me Anna. I have like a grace period for people who call me Anna, because I get it, like the natural assumption, but it's like, if you've known me for some time and you're still calling me Anna, every single time you do it, a portion of my soul dies.
Yeah.
Like
I've done it once. That was it.
Yeah.
And I did it once, and I said, well, honestly, because I'm so bad with names, and I remember you introduced yourself to me, and I was like, cool. And then like 2 seconds later, I was like, forgot her name.
It's
no,
gone.
It starts with an A. It's completely gone. It's out. And then I like heard somebody call you something, but I only heard the first half. So then I went in the back, and my trainer was there, and he's like, oh, who did you shadow? Because I was supposed to shadow somebody else, and I was like, oh. And I like hesitated. I was like, Anna? And he's like, who? And I was like, Anna, she had another name. And it was like, oh, Anna Marie. And I was like, yes. And he's like, I've never heard anybody call her Anna before. And I was like, that's not her name. That's why. That's why. I will not call her that anymore.
So that's like a thing.
Yes.
And again, I have like a grace period, but it's like, if you know me, you know my name isn't Anna. But because it's quite long, and I've always been called nicknames, and through a pretty winded story, basically I have a lot of little cousins, and obviously Anna Marie is a mouthful. That's so many syllables for a child to pronounce. So they always said Ammy. And so my little cousins called me Ammy, and I had started a job, like, it feels like, I guess about 3 years ago. And my manager actually said to me, he was like, Anna Marie is just too long to fully type out in emails. And I laughed. I'm like, you're totally right. You know, like most people will call me AM or this or that. And they're like, do you have a nickname? And I'm like, honestly, the only nickname I have is from my little cousins. They call me Ammy, and that's like very kind of like cute and endearing from my cousins. And a kid on my team that I was working with, he was like, why don't we call you Ammo? Totally like shot in the dark, like random. And it stuck. It stuck. So almost everybody in my life calls me Ammo now, which is, it's the most ironic nickname in the world, because I have never held a gun or any sort of ammunition in my whole entire life.
Same.
So, so name is Ammo. I am 26.
No, you're not. You're a liar.
I am.
When you told me that the other day, I was like,
I always say I'm 26. I am on the verge of 27, and I joke around all the time and say that I don't feel a day over 5. And that's
same though.
That feels very relevant for my life. I've got a ton of energy. I probably I definitely should have been tested for some sort of attention deficit disorder when I was a kid, but I wasn't. But I am just always pretty wild, and there's not a lot of times where I'm quiet ever. So I'm usually pretty loud and crazy. I'm trying to think about some things about me. Amanda loves dogs, and I'm allergic to them.
I'm so sad.
I love dogs, but it's kind of a barrier.
Are you
we
allergic
have.
to cats?
I am allergic to cats.
I'm too, but I also want to get a cat. But it won't happen in this house because my parents are like, nah.
I love mac and cheese, on a pretty obscene level.
Have you seen that thing that's the mac and cheese festivals that they have downtown?
Yeah,
I want to go.
I've never gotten to go, and I would love to go.
Let's go. Maybe they'll have gluten-free ones.
They do have some.
I'm gonna cry. Have you ever had oh my god, Noodles and Company?
Yeah, it's so good.
Do you know how many calories are in a
so
large?
So many.
It's literally your daily limit.
Yeah, I mean, I would do it.
I'm a fitness sort of stupid buff.
No, I mean, I love mac and cheese on a very spiritual level. In a way, my Twitter bio says, my location says wherever the mac and cheese is. I love it. Trying to think of some other fun things about me. I like to write. I love traveling, so I've lived in a lot of different places. Basically from the time I turned 18 and left for college, I just have constantly picked up and left. My friends are always kind of on the precipice of waiting for me to leave again because I move pretty frequently. Right now is actually the longest period of time I've stayed in one place since I turned 18. So I've worked for Disney. I studied abroad in Spain. I graduated college and I went to Texas to work. I left Texas. I went back to Spain, and then now I'm back here in Chicago. I have a deep root obsession with this, the country of Spain. It is obscene. Probably just about as obscene as my love for mac and cheese, or on a pretty high level. Yeah. I have my degree. I guess I have a degree in each. In
mac and cheese?
In mac and cheese, and no, I have my degree in Spanish and public relations. So that's kind of what a lot of my work has been centered around. And yeah, I also I can't speak for you, but I'm assuming I grew up here in Chicago my whole life. I lived right on the south side.
I've lived in this house my entire life.
Same. So my parents moved into our house. We've been there ever since and never moved, and they don't ever plan on moving. They're going to be there forever. I like to rollerblade a lot.
I'm so bad at it.
I was part of a rollerblading group when I lived in Spain because it's so more so many people rollerblade.
Oh,
yeah, all the time.
Interesting.
And so my friend set me up. He's like, hey, I know this group of people. They go on blading routes together. And I was like, oh, sign me the heck up. Now here in Chicago, I rarely see other bladers on the south side. So I'm certainly the only one. Yeah, I think I mentioned I like to write. So I
write a lot.
Yeah, I write a lot. And that was not, I kind of have, like I said, I just have a lot of thoughts all the time. Mind is always racing. And I was like that growing up my whole life, just tons and tons of thoughts. And I felt overwhelmed all the time. And I don't know why. I was really bad at keeping a diary when I was a kid, which is so funny because now
You write all the time. Yeah, you're always writing.
Yeah. And I couldn't keep a diary. I was just very unsuccessful. And the only reason I ever even got into writing was because when I started moving after I turned 18, when I went away to Florida, my family was like, would you start a blog so we just, can keep up with you and know what you're doing? And I was like, I guess I'll give it a try, I don't know. And then suddenly it was oh, I'm writing for, quote unquote, I'm writing for my family. Then all of a sudden it's I'm not just writing for my family. I'm also writing a lot of stuff for myself. And then all of a sudden I'm just writing. And so it kind of kept up, and I've blogged for a long time, and just going to keep doing that. So I got a lot of things kind of going in. If you looked at the notes on my iPhone, you would be...
I can imagine. I can only imagine.
Yeah, actually, we'll talk about it. I know, I have some really cool apps. So if anybody likes to write, I've found some really cool apps for writers, and a good way to outline and brainstorm.
Do you have any plan on writing a book?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So that actually happened last summer. I kind of got this weird inspiration. So my first inspiration I ever had, where I was I think I could write something bigger than just blogging and this and that. I was I think I could write something. And I actually have a friend, her name is Steph, and she's fantastic. She's been telling me to write a book for a very long time. And I'm no way. But if anybody asks, she's been my biggest and first supporter in that sense. But the first time I ever had the idea for it, I was living in Spain, which was back in 2015. So I was living there and I had this idea, and honestly, I started writing. I still have the exact journal that I started writing it in, and I put it down. And if you've ever read, there's a book called Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, and it's this idea that like ideas are these tangible things, and when they come to you, they're, you know, like ideas' purpose in life is to be made manifest. They want to find the best like collaborator on their journey, and I think an idea came to me. I did not make that idea manifest, and it left, and I never kind of stayed with it. But last summer I had this kind of crazy inspiration and idea, and it's kind of been rolling. So
nice.
I try not to force it, because a lot of the times like the storyline thickens in its own way, and I go with it on that. And that's the thing. I love writing, but I never want to feel like I have to write.
Exactly. Yeah.
I want it to be organic. So that's really been that. But yeah, that's kind of the goal with that. Yeah. But I think those are kind of like the core things about me, I think. Is there anything that you can think of?
About you?
Yeah. I'm a really awkward dancer, but I love to dance. Like I'm always moving around and being weird, but I have no rhythm at all.
Same.
Yeah, I'm embarrassing when I dance.
Like,
there's a lot of finger pointing.
Go-to dance move is like the Kristen Wiig like shoulder thing.
Bridesmaids.
Yeah, bridesmaids.
Totally.
Exactly.
Totally.
I'm trying to think if there's anything. You kind of like covered almost.
I think we did. I'm trying to think if there's really anything else. I don't know. I think that's really it. I think for the most part that is me as a human. Yeah. Lots of energy, lots of talking, lots of dancing. Oh, I have a very if you ever follow my Instagram, it's essentially a collection of photos of me doing peace signs in random places in the world and really long captions. Like
super long, like a novel.
I am one of those people that you hate. Like nobody wants to read those long captions. I'm not writing them for you. I'm writing them for me.
Yeah.
And that's probably pretty narcissistic to say, but it's like I have so many thoughts and I just want to get them out there. So if I should change my Instagram bio to that, like mostly photos of me throwing peace signs and really long captions.
Is your Instagram thing like the mac and cheese thing as well?
It isn't. It used to be. It's different now.
My Twitter and my Instagram are the same exact.
Yeah, I used to always have everything universal.
It says I'm not Kate McKinnon, because everybody constantly.
That's a pretty easy. I
love Kate McKinnon, and
she's
honestly,
fantastic.
it's like a compliment to like get it.
Oh, for sure.
But I just thought it was funny, and then like everybody thinks it's funny now that they call me Kate McKinnon, and they like send me pictures of her on magazines, and they're like, "Look, you're on a magazine." I'm like, "Thanks. Where's my royalties?"
I want to talk about as well.
Oh God, here we go.
The royal wedding.
I don't know anything about it other than I woke up in the morning and it was like whatever, they were like basically done with it, and I woke up to go to work and it was on in the background, and I was like, Prince Harry is very attractive, so is his Meghan. I don't know what her name is. I'm so bad with names.
It's Meghan Markle.
That's what it is, Meghan Markle.
She is our American princess. And, like, we have to know
they are
it.
so pretty. I love the dress, and I heard that it was like a feminist icon thing.
Yeah.
I was gonna read this article, never got a chance to, and that they had people of color a lot in the wedding, which is super rad.
Incredible. It's incredible.
But like the people on the fucking streets, I was like, holy shit! Like nobody would do that in America, though.
No, never. We don't. I mean, we could talk about like American culture.
Did George Clooney and his fiance, wife, girlfriend, whoever she is to him, did they get married?
I don't know.
Are they dating? Well, either way, like if they got like, they're kind of like the only people that I could think that would get married and like there'd be such a big turnout for would be the Obamas.
Yeah. But let's think about who it could be, like who we would get all hyped up about. I can't think of anybody.
Maybe Lady Gaga. No, see, for Lady Gaga, too many people hate her, but I love her.
Yeah, but I don't know who it would be.
Like I can't think of a single person.
We're gonna talk about this, I'm certain, on this podcast about like American culture.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Having lived in another country for some time, I have so many things to say about it. But we can get to that on another thing. But yeah, the wedding, I mean, the standpoint that we have this like beautiful, even if it doesn't matter if she's beautiful or not, we have this biracial, amazing feminist woman from America coming in and kind of just like, I feel like it's like, we can do this, you know, like there's...
We could, but here we are.
But here we are, right. Of course, so we can also get into that. But the wedding was... I mean, obviously very traditional, but so many cool things happen. Like Meghan walked herself completely
because her dad was like
yeah, but I mean,
also like
typically they don't
do that.
Yeah,
That's
typically
awesome.
they would have Charles walk her down the entire thing, but it was kind of a big, bold move that she took herself down the aisle by herself, which I thought was incredible. But they were just sickeningly in love.
Oh, I saw some like videos, and I was just like, I don't want to talk about this. Like,
it's like, this is actually, you can just see
yeah.
how in love they are. And I was dying because so many cute damn moments happened, and I'm just like, I was just beyond myself. I found more today, and I was like, whoa, like, I can't handle this cuteness. But like, if you watch some of the videos when the priest, I think, or pastor, minister, the guy who actually like officiated the wedding, I know that we had a really awesome black pastor from Chicago who did the sermon. Yeah.
I was listening to NPR this morning on my run, and they were talking to him, and they were I guess he like read a scripture or something. I don't know how religion works, but I guess he read a scripture or something that was from South America, like written.
Maybe, yeah.
So I don't know, something.
I'm not sure.
Could be completely wrong. That's another thing. I'm not researching shit because I'm lazy as fuck. So just take everything with a grain of salt that I say. But it was something along this line, and this person asked him like, "Why did you pick this? This was so amazing." And he was like, "I didn't pick it. The fucking couple did." Well, he didn't say fucking because he's probably a minister.
Yeah, he's probably a little bit more godly.
He's probably a little bit better about that. And he was like, I didn't pick it. I just read it, and because the couple picked it,
to it, yeah.
They said both Harry and what's her Megan.
I found out today that Harry's real name is Henry.
That makes sense.
Which I just thought was I never realized.
I saw a meme. I saw a meme online of Ed Sheeran and
oh no,
somebody else who was like, "Congratulations to the royal couple," and I literally got like a really good laugh out of it.
I hate that.
I kind of laughed. Yeah.
I saw this video when the priest or whatever who actually officiated the ceremony, he says like that he pronounces them husband and wife, and Meghan Markle gets the biggest smile on her face. Aww. And I was like, I melted into a puddle. I'm like, ah! Like, am I ever gonna, like, is anyone ever gonna smile like that for me?
Same.
But it was just a sweet thing. I thought it was really cool. I think it's crazy that we have these, like, you know, the world woke up at whatever time it was, and to watch these two things. And I feel like, I mean, also with William and Kate, they're also in love and great and cute, but they were just so in love. It was very cute to watch. And but I don't know who here in America we would get that psyched about.
Honestly, I really cannot think, like, not even politically.
No,
because I mean, they're like a dynasty almost at that point. Like it's like passed down, and with the president, you're elected every 4 years or whatever. I can't think of, like, I know a lot of people like
maybe Oprah. What's that dude's name?
That explains a lot.
Okay, so never mind. I take back my
Is it
statement.
Oprah and her boyfriend?
But what's his name?
See, like, it
I'm just
matter.
being honest. I think it's Oprah and Gail.
I would say it would be Ellen, maybe. No, because there's too many homophobes in the world.
Yeah, and when her and Portia got married, it was very exciting, but
like
maybe I think if they got married now.
For sure, yeah.
When they got married, I think we were still not quite as progressed as we are now in terms of that. But I think, I don't know. I'm going to think about that.
I am too. I'm not going to find an answer, but
we have to come up with something. So Amanda and I both have like found questions to ask each other because we want to, like, I mean, her and I could shit. I just said her and I could shit, and I meant to say her and I could sit.
I definitely can shit if you give me dairy.
I meant to say I meant to say that we could shoot the shit and like sit and talk to each other for whatever. But this
podcast is gonna be 3 hours long.
It's gonna be 18 years long.
It's like one podcast over 18 years recording.
It's like we're 45, but maybe I would be.
Would I be making money?
Oh my god! Did I just accurately guess? I would be like 44. Oh, that's scary.
That is. I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about getting old.
No, I would be 45 because I turned 27 in just 2 months.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah.
July.
I can't talk about that.
July. What day? What is it?
July 19th. Okay. So I recently had my appendix taken out, which was a whole scenario.
That was a whole
thing.
I cannot believe that.
But we were in the hospital, and for the most part, I was in the hospital by myself. Like, I'm an adult, and my parents certainly love me, but, you know, I'm an adult, so they had things going on, and I didn't need them to sit by my side, but my parents did come here and there, and my dad was with me. for the actual surgery. And when people came into my room, he would constantly say things like, she's almost 30. I'm like, do you want to get kicked out of this room any faster? Like, you will not refer to me like that yet. I'm not there yet. And Amanda has questions that she has brought up. And I am actually reading off an article that's from the New York Times called 36 Questions That Lead to
Apparently
Love.
I'm going to fall in love with her at the end of this
episode. By the
episode.
end of this podcast, we may be at a different point in our relationship.
I have a pen.
Should we go back and forth? Yeah. Like, you ask me one and
we
I'll
can answer like both the questions, because like honestly I haven't thought about these answers.
Yeah, so like we'll ask a question and you'll give your answer.
This is the one that I want to know the most of. Dessert or appetizers?
Appetizers.
It depends on the day. Okay, so like if you were to order like any appetizer.
Pretzel sticks with cheese. I love cheese.
Same, but my body hates it.
Yeah, I love cheese. If there's ever like pretzel bites or pretzel sticks or anything, I'm on it. But yeah, I'm not a big sweets person.
Oh, I see. The thing is I am too. I like so if we're counting nachos as appetizers, I'm gonna get fucking nachos.
We're definitely
but
counting
also,
nachos as appetizers.
Why can't I do both? I want dessert as well.
You can. Who says there's rules?
Cake. I want everything that's sweet and salty in my body, and that's why I need to watch what I eat.
I get it. I'm not a big sweets person.
When I'm on my period, it's the worst.
I don't get, when I'm on my period, I just want to eat everything.
Same. But it's like
not, it's not like a certain thing.
Like an entire tub of ice cream.
Oh, I can't see. I have ice cream so rarely, and I genuinely have to have a taste for it. Yeah. Like when people are like, want to go, you always ask, you're like, want to go get ice cream. I
literally want a reason to get ice
cream.
cream.
And it's like, I have to have
for sure
the taste
for
it.
I wish I had
One thing I could always get is rainbow cone. If somebody offers rainbow cone to me, I will always go.
Oh, yeah.
I will always go. So my answer is appetizers.
Okay.
Emma with the appetizers. Amanda with the both. All right. In mine. Oh, this is interesting. This is kind of a little bit deeper.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
But maybe, I don't know. Do you have a secret hunch about how you'll die?
Oh, my fucking God. Oh, you know what? Actually, it's a cool thing. Well, not cool thing. I went to a healer one time, which is like those people. Yeah.
I've always wanted to do something like that.
I mean, I believe in them, but also at the same time when they're asking for money, it's like, are you really?
Oh, I believe in that shit so hard.
I believe in paranormal, but like this person was like, you have a third eye and that's why you're getting migraines. And so you need to come back every single week for $30. Can you try to open it? And I was like, oh, okay, I'm not going to pay you $30. But she said that in my previous life that I was hung.
That's so freaky.
And that would
spooky.
Be like being hung in the time of like the 1800s or whatever would be like you did some shit, like you're
like
a
maybe
witch.
For your or like sexuality.
I mean that makes sense why I'm struggling with my
sexuality. That
is constantly.
Yeah, we could talk about that for
sexuality.
You know what? We will probably have an entire
episode about that. About that. Like I can go on and on about.
We're also going to have an entire episode about Myers-Briggs personality types.
Oh God!
And if you don't know yours, I'm gonna make you.
I think I do. I think I do. I think somewhere like I've done it before, but I don't remember what it is.
Oh, I'm obsessed. I'm like convinced.
I'm opening my second bottle of alcohol.
Let's open up second bottle.
Do you want to share this?
Yeah, let's share it. But we should probably get more too.
Yeah, go get some. Do you want? Let me. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, go on. Ask your question. Well, that was your.
Yeah, that was your question. So you, in a previous life, you got hung. Do you have any like intuition about what it might be? This life?
Like something really stupid I would die of. Like texting while driving.
Oh no.
Or like, no, I don't. Okay, listen. I don't text. Okay, I do. But
I think that we all
I need to stop.
We all need to stop.
Honestly, like I try to use Siri, but Siri doesn't understand me half the time.
When I'm in the car, if I text, when I'm at stoplights, I pull out my phone.
I had a friend that got a ticket for that.
Yeah, when I'm driving, I try my best to use like voice dictation.
Here's what's gonna kill me. Me when Toxic comes on in the car. And then I just go fucking
Amanda,
insane.
that was funny. That was good humor.
Thank you so much.
That was great comedy.
Yeah, it's gonna be for something stupid. It's gonna be for like, unless I die of old age, which is, I'm hoping is the case.
I have this really strange, like we could talk about death for a while. Oh no, Amanda is spilling our drink on her
It's in my nose and it's on my pants.
This
I need
is
to
amazing.
change my pants.
This
oh
is
God,
amazing.
it's soaking through my pants.
Well, this is where we're at.
This is my life.
I have this strange feeling that I'm going to die from some sort of like cancer or some sort of disease. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if I think it or I'm just scared of it. I'm scared of suffering. And so for some reason I think that's how I
get it.
Yeah.
Same.
The idea of suffering or the idea of knowing that my death is coming. Is kind of what I'm afraid of. And so I think because of that deep fear, I'm like, oh, that's how I'm going to go for sure.
You know what I'm constantly afraid of? Mass shootings, and that I'm going to die in a mass shooting.
Let's talk about
that's a whole nother issue that oh my God.
Do we want to talk about the shooting now?
Let's wait.
Okay, so we'll do some more questions. Yeah, you are.
Hard cola.
Do you want to go wash your hands?
Probably should.
Okay, bye. It's fine.
Oh my God. I need to change my pants.
Should I just... Oh, you do. You really spilled a lot. It looks like you, if you had a penis, you peed yourself. Because, I don't know how you would pee yourself like that with a vagina, but if you had a penis, you could definitely get away with it. Also, fun fact, Amanda is the most awesome person ever, and she bought me a new watch band for my Apple Watch. You should put on Mickey Mouse pants. That's the silliest question you've ever asked me before.
They're super hot.
You know...
That material?
Oh, I felty hot. I hear ya. Oh God. Oh my God.
Are you doing the same exact? I swear to God.
I almost did. That would have been so silly.
Carbonation.
All right.
How good these are. Damn.
Yeah. So we're definitely going to talk about the shooting, which is a much heavier topic, which we'll get to. So
I don't want to cry.
yeah, it's heavy. I have a lot of feelings about it, and we'll get there.
Yeah. Did we finish that question?
Yeah, about the hunch about dying. So it's your turn. What's the question you got for me?
Favorite song.
Oh, I can never boil us down to one, but
Okay,
I know a top 5.
Okay, give it to me.
Okay.
And I'll judge you.
Sure, you can judge me. So I would say In My Life by the Beatles. You know what? I'm going to keep it right there. Okay. I have ones that really come close to it. Mm-hmm. I think In My Life is this beautiful song that John Lennon wrote.
Okay.
And I think it's really cool because a lot of people think that he's talking about a lover. And in fact, he's talking about Liverpool. He's talking about a place that he's in love with or has been in love with, and that means so much to him. And that's always kind of due to my traveling and all of that and falling in love with places and everything.
Mine is Modern Girl by Slater-Kinney.
Fair.
Have you ever heard it? Probably not. It's really good. You should check it out.
I've heard of the band.
Oh, they're fucking amazing. They're my favorite band. They're my favorite band. I have an idea for a tattoo that's going to be related to Slater-Kinney itself, but cool. I recently...
We could talk about tattoos, too.
Yes. When did they come out with their new album? Newer album. I think it was 20... No, it can't be 2010. It can't be 8 years now.
Damn, that's
recently,
been some time.
Maybe 3 years ago, they came back from their 10-year hiatus, and I never thought I would see them, and they came back, and they were like, we're coming to Chicago, and I saw them, and I cried my eyes out, because I was one of those people. But I literally never thought I would see them. Also, I love Carrie Brownstein.
Okay.
So I cried. And that song is just I feel like it describes me completely.
Modern girl.
The emotion she goes through in the song is hunger, which is you could hunger for adventure.
Sure.
I'm blanking on all the song lyrics now, so I can't describe everything. But there's 3 emotions she goes through, and I feel like I match every single one of those.
That's really cool.
Happiness and anger as well. And she describes them in a way, and it's super, super cool. And it's their most not noise song, because most of their stuff is I feel like they recorded it. They were cool, let's record it. Now let's make it noisy, and they just put their amps facing the wall, and yes, it's super cool.
A lot of loud noises.
A lot of loud noises,
sure.
And it's probably their most it's their most well known song, but it's they play it at the end of every concert. It's a whole thing, and I love it.
I'm sure, yeah. Cool.
Super great song.
Okay, we'll have to listen to it. Or I'll have to listen to it.
Definitely.
Mine is definitely In My Life.
Okay.
It's just it's a beautiful... And that's the thing, it's it's so... It can mean something to some... one person can listen to it and think
that's
of a
what
person.
I love about music.
Yeah, I mean, everybody feels a different way about it, and it's cool. Okay, so yeah, I do have other songs that are really high on my list, but I would say In My Life is number 1. If you could wake up tomorrow...
Oh, God.
Having gained one quality or ability, what would it be?
Or ability?
Yeah.
Superpower?
Maybe. It could be whatever. I mean, it's up to interpretation.
Oh, fuck. This is gonna make me think, and I don't know. Oh my god. Like anger. I would like to solve my anger a little bit because I get very angry very fast. I would like something like we were talking about meditating at the beginning of this, but like something that like in the moment where I just like can calm myself down. Like I don't get so heated so fast.
Sure.
Something like that.
That's fair. That's a good one. This is like just what comes to mind right away. I'm sure I'm going to go home and like think of all the other things that I could have said.
I'm going to stay up all night.
Oh, for sure. I think that I would want to, I'd want to learn how to play an instrument.
Do you not know any?
I don't. And I always wanted to when I was little.
Yeah.
So, and I was just never successful. I don't know if that was a lack of commitment. I have a friend who, he said to me that he is interested in everything and committed to nothing. And sometimes I feel like I wouldn't say I'm committed to nothing, but I'm interested in everything.
Yeah.
And I don't always get to follow through on everything.
Yeah.
You know.
Same.
So that kind of happened with musical instruments, and I would love to like play the guitar. You know, like you do. I think it's so cool. I kind of gave myself a
learn to play
goal
bass.
to learn. Yeah.
Be in a band with me.
Okay, done. What would our name be?
Oh, God, I don't know.
Have we even talked about our name on this?
What?
Have we talked about our name for this?
Oh, no, we haven't. Oh, it's Millennial Talk, right? Is
Yeah.
that what we decided on?
Yeah.
It's Millennial fucking Talk.
It's Millennial Talk because we're obviously going to bullshit about
everything. Millennial Mart. Never forget when we saw something
so
called Millennial Mart.
We went to our friend's birthday about a week and a half ago, and we were driving talking about this, that we were going to call it Millennial Talk. We had a few other ideas, but this ended up just being like the one that made the most sense. And as we're driving down, we like look to the left, and there's a little like corner store called Millennial Mart. And so then for a moment I was like, should we name this thing Millennial Mart?
We get sued.
Probably.
So
we are Millennial Talk.
Yes.
Okay,
this one's really interesting, and I want to know what you're gonna say.
All right, let's hear it. You're making me nervous.
What game or movie universe would you want to live in?
Harry Potter.
Oh shit, that was fast.
Oh, that was quick, but I love Star Wars.
True.
No, Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Harry Potter for sure.
Okay.
Because of magic. Like Star Wars would be super cool because it's like intergalactic.
Yeah.
And I'd have a really cool lightsaber.
Yeah.
All of that. All those things are really, I mean, obviously I'm nerdy enough to admit,
Same.
you know,
to
love that. Harry Potter. I think the idea of magic, I like would love to play Quidditch. Like I have been athletic.
You know, my school has a fucking Quidditch team.
I love that so much.
They just fucking run around
on broomsticks.
It's
amazing.
They have fucking jerseys.
I would enroll. I would apply.
You should do it. We should go to a game. I don't know when they have them, but they do.
We have to go. I have been an athlete my whole life, and I would want to play Quidditch. Like I'd love to like fly in a.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sold. Harry Potter. It was a gut instinct, and I'm staying with it.
Oh, that was like a super fast. That was the most fast reaction that I didn't think you were gonna. Go that fast.
Definitely Harry. I mean, it took me a very long time to accept it, but I'm a Hufflepuff. But really, it's like I'm just soft, and I'm soft and sweet.
Yeah.
I don't really get angry or mean. I'm a Hufflepuff. It took me a very long time. I'm not brave. I don't like confrontation. I'm definitely not Gryffindor. I'm not a Slytherin because I'm not snaky. However, most of my best friends are Slytherins, so that says something maybe about me.
Can I tell you a secret?
Yeah.
I have no yeah, sorry.
Oh God.
No,
So
what I will tell you though
first episode, last episode.
what I will tell you though is that visiting, I think it's cool. It's just I've never been able to get into it. Maybe if I read the books first, it would work. I tried watching all the movies and it didn't work.
Okay. So this is where I think I differ from almost all Harry Potter fans. I've read the books so many times.
Okay.
I cannot count how many times I've read those books. I've read each one way over 10 times. Yeah. I have only ever seen the movies fully one time, and it was at all of the midnight premieres.
Okay.
I love the movies. I think it's a cool way that they put it into the real world, but I love the literature more, and I like it better that way. I like when people are like, Harry Potter weekends are on, or Harry Potter, it's like, I'm not one of those people. Like, I love Harry Potter, but I can't sit and watch them like that. I appreciate the literature more.
I can appreciate it. I can appreciate the theme park is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I've never been, which makes me
Butterbeer is the greatest.
I'm sure, it's fantastic.
It's not even alcohol, and it's so good.
Yeah.
So much sugar, but so great.
So what gaming
Oh God, okay, here we go.
alternate world would you live in?
I was thinking about this on the way here, and I So it'd be a video game. It would be, oh God, this is gonna be so morbid and like,
oh my
really
God, Amanda,
shitty
where are
of
you
me.
taking this?
It's called The Last of Us.
I don't know.
It's my favorite video game, and maybe I'm only saying this because of my favorite video game. It's basically like post-apocalyptic world where these people are like not zombies, but sort of in a sense, but they're living in post-apocalyptic. So my thing is that I feel like I couldn't survive the apocalypse.
We were going to talk about this because I would not survive.
And I feel like it would just be nice because like I love people, but I also hate people.
You would get scrappy.
I would be like, oh, I don't have to talk to anyone. Great.
Oh,
I can live by myself and do everything that I want. Great. So I would say either that, just because maybe the video game graphics are super, super cool. But other than that, I don't know. I just like, Star Wars would obviously be cool.
It would be a cool.
It'd be super, super cool.
But so dangerous. There's always like, rebel warfare.
I was also gonna say like the Disney universe. I think that'd be super cool.
Oh yeah, I never even thought.
Like,
because
like they all are like in the same universe. I think that'd be
You're
really
so right.
interesting.
Okay, that's a good option.
Yeah.
For the zombie apocalypse, I have said for a very long time, if I was part of a horror movie or it was a zombie apocalypse or anything like that, I would submit myself to the killers.
Really?
I'd be like, take me, because again, I don't like the idea that I'm gonna die. Like, knowing that my death is pending, it freaks me out. I don't want to live with that like fear and anxiety. Just take me.
Okay.
Like,
I mean, it's understandable. Yeah.
I would, and I'm not scrappy enough. Like, I don't like confrontation.
Same. So I'm not gonna make it. But.
I tell this all the time. I have two best friends from study abroad. I studied abroad in Granada, Spain. And of the three of us, we are totally like, if there's a spectrum, like, we all hit, like, I'm on the left. One of them is named Kelsey. She's on the middle. The other one's named Stip. She's all the way on the right. And I always joke around that if there was like a fight scene, like in a movie where there's a fight going on in high school, my friend Stip, she is like the physical aggressor. She's in the middle of the fight, like wanting to throw punches. Kelsey is like holding Stip back, but still shouting profanities. And like, I am in the corner calling my mom, asking to be picked up. Like,
Mom, there's
like, please get me out of here. I don't want to be here. Yeah. So if I was ever put in that scenario, I'd just be like, get me out. Like, in any way, shape, or form. I want to get out of here.
I also want to say Jurassic Park.
Ooh, I would never have even thought of that.
It's my favorite movie.
What? That's right. You had like a Jurassic Park. Amanda is so cool. No, she like went out the other day and she had Jurassic Park earrings and a like matching button up. It was so cool. But I appreciate
Jurassic Park. Like, there was something online. I think it was on Tumblr like a couple years ago. That was like, we could do this and make dinosaurs. And it was like, have you seen the last trilogy of Jurassic Park? And I was like, yeah, but like that would be so cool.
Okay, that's.
But I really like dinosaurs, so they're cool.
That's a really good option.
Yeah, I would say one of those three. Yeah, that's my answer.
Let's see. Let me find my next one. Oh my God. Share with your partner an embarrassing moment in your life.
There's so many.
Oh my God. Woo.
Bless you.
Thank you.
God, it's not real. I'm just kidding. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Embarrassing moment. I can't think of any of the embarrassing moments that I have as of right now. Oh, I know. I remember one. Okay. This is like one that has stuck with me my entire life. Do you, so I was at the mall. I was like really little, maybe like 5. At the mall, like with my parents, like just having a mall day, you know. And I wanted to hug my dad, but I decided to close my eyes and like spin around a couple times, and I hugged a random stranger. And I remember
as a kid,
hugging them, opening my eyes, and realizing that's not my father. And I was just like, oh shit. And then like my parents were like, they call me Mandy. I hate that they call me Mandy, but Mandy, we're over here. Cute. And I was like, okay. And that moment has like stuck with me. Like that's the top one that I can think of.
Okay.
That's
pretty mortifying as a kid.
As a kid, because you're hugging somebody, like you open your eyes, you're like, shh.
I had a very, very similar experience. Mm-hmm. I was probably around 4. It was a funeral at my family, and I remember being kind of nervous. It was the first time, like, I have this memory. It was the first time I could, I was old enough to know what was going on. And I was looking down and I went to grab my dad's hand and I grabbed the hand of a stranger.
Oh, shit.
And then like realized, oh God, and so I it's totally mortifying, like I was in a church, I was safe, like I wasn't going to get stolen, but just like the idea that I was holding like somebody's hand that wasn't my dad really freaked me out. But I have a very embarrassing story. I have told this story to one person at work and they have made me retell it so many times.
Oh, I want to hear this now.
Okay.
I haven't heard it yet.
I don't know if you have. When I left to study abroad, it was my first time I had ever flown out of the country. I was very nervous and I was like nervous about jet lag. I didn't know what I was going to do. So I got on the plane and I popped a ton of Dramamine. Like, I think you can take 2. I took like 3 or so.
Oh my God.
So I passed out within like the first 30 minutes of the flight. Totally knocked myself out. And it was really cool because the flight was underbooked. So I had a window seat, but I ended up not having anyone next to me. So I was able to I put my head in the aisle and my feet by the window and I was laying on my side. So I'm laying on my side and of course I don't know this when I wake up, but I come to find out about 7 hours into the flight, I am awoken from my medicated slumber by the sound of my own fart. And I am totally mortified. So I'm like laying down on like my feet at the window, my head at the aisle, and I like bug-eyed open my eyes. I'm looking forward and I'm like, oh my God, like that woke me up. Oh people definitely, and I slowly take my head and like go to look up and the guy who's sitting in the middle row at the aisle, he's looking down at me. He looks me in the eye and says, I will never ever forget this until the day I die. Looked me in the eye and said, that's been happening a lot.
Oh my God.
And I had to get up and go to the bathroom. So I'm like walking to the bathroom. I'm like, everybody knows it was me. But it was like the most mortifying experience for sure. I don't think anything compares to that. That's definitely probably the most embarrassing thing I've ever done.
I agree with you.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything that's ever going to beat that.
Oh man. I feel like I already know the answer to this, but your dream city would be
I'd live in Granada, Spain.
Yeah. For sure.
I think because Granada feels like home to me, I really loved Amsterdam.
I want to go there really bad.
Yeah. And not for like the drug, all of that purpose.
No, yeah.
It's just like a very free and open city. Lots of acceptance. It's beautiful. So if not Granada, Amsterdam.
For sure.
What about you?
Portland.
Good answer. If I had to pick somewhere in America,
I want to go to Portland.
If I were to pick somewhere in America, I'd pick Portland or Austin.
Okay, yeah, and they're very similar. I know.
Yeah.
That or Seattle, I feel like.
Yeah, you would fit well there.
I heard that it's very rainy though, and expensive.
Grey's Anatomy tells me that it's very rainy in Seattle.
We're done.
Whatever. The season finale was really cool. By the way, it was awesome.
No, it's my dream to go to Portland, and I might be going soon. There's a possibility I'm going with my friend, but I'm not sure.
If it doesn't happen, maybe we could do it.
Please.
We could podcast from there.
Oh my God, yes.
Well, no,
I'm going to LA for sure this summer.
Good. You should. Also,
end of August.
Can we take a moment to talk about what glasses we're drinking out of?
Okay, so this describes I feel like our personalities. I'm
100%
out of a martini glass that I found at a thrift store that is painted rainbow colors.
And it's very obviously I think a child painted.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But it was only maybe 50 cents. So I was like, yeah, I want this.
So she's drinking a Henry's Hard Cola out of this martini glass that is obviously ratchetly painted rainbow, and it's amazing. I am drinking a Henry's Hard orange soda in a coffee mug that has Leslie Knope's face on it that says "Vote Nope." Yes. And if that doesn't really sum it all up in one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I had this is a question I had. So, and it kind of got really deep with my friend. So,
okay.
I have a friend who he's from the UK, and he's a really intellectual dude. Obviously, we do not see each other often, but we talk as much as we can. And one day we had a conversation, and I asked him, I said, if you were absolutely certain, there was no question about it, that the world was ending in 7 days.
Oh, no.
What exactly would you do?
In 7 days?
In 7 days. It got very
Well,
existential. The
first of
conversation got deep.
Let me get closer. First of all, I would find Halsey. Second of all, I would do things with Halsey, but only if she wanted to do things with me.
That is good. Respectful.
Yes.
That's
no,
right.
I think I would literally cash out all my money and buy plane tickets to go around the world.
Okay, so this is what we were talking about. If everybody knew that the world was ending, there's no way that airports are going to be functioning.
Oh, so the world is ending in general.
Everywhere the world is ending.
Okay, never mind.
Everywhere the world is ending. So what are we going to do with our time?
That's a really...
maybe we don't have to answer it. We can think about it. Because we got into a very existential crisis about it because he was like...
I would do the things that would pleasure me. So I would do... this is so weird. Like, I have these, like, vivid, like, memories and these... Like, sometimes I wake up a day and I'm like, listen, I know what I want to do. I want to drink this diet Snapple, Traparaka, because it's really good, and play a video game all day. That's all I want to do.
Fair.
And that would be one day for sure. Everything else, because of airports and all that other shit, honestly, I'd probably spend it with like my dogs and people that I loved.
Yeah. Like the world is up in arms. It's definitely ending. We're done.
It's like anarchy.
So like businesses are out. Nobody's working.
I'd play guitar. I would honestly, just probably like play guitar and like play video games and like do like maybe read a book, try to get Netflix to watch like Parks and Rec or Office.
Sure. That's fair. Just the stuff that you would be happy doing.
Yeah.
If
it's just the small stuff that makes me happy.
Because I feel like all the time it's like that live like you're dying phrase. Yeah. And people get really like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. And my friend made a comment. He was like, if the world is going to end, I can do everything or nothing. Yeah. And it doesn't matter. Because in 7 days, this all ceases to exist. So we kind of had like a really deep combo about like, does it matter what we do? Does it need to be big and grand? Or does it just need to be like a lot of little small things that are...
I would definitely get tacos.
Oh,
I would eat fast food probably every single day.
Yeah.
I'd have like a good dinner. Like so one night I'd have Mexican, next night I'd have like Chinese, then burgers from my favorite restaurant.
I'd eat mac and cheese every day.
You would, and that's honestly completely fine with me. Like I get it, and I would do it probably as well. I'd probably have, that's what I would do.
I think I would, I don't know. I think I would just spend time with my parents. I would make sure that I like wrote I don't know how I would get it to them, but I'd want to make sure that all the people in my life knew that they were loved.
Yeah.
And like and the same concept goes like in 7 days or who knows what comes after life, it may not matter if I tell them or not.
Yeah.
But I'd want to make sure that I was like giving my love out appropriately.
Yeah, for sure.
So that'd be really it. Spending time with my nephew, my little cousins, It would be all family. I'd just be with my family all the time. And hopefully if I'm like actually with another human being romantically, I'd want to be with them as well. Oh yeah,
for sure. But that's how I agree.
All right.
Is it my turn?
It's your turn now.
I know the answer to this probably also. Breakfast or dinner?
Breakfast.
Oh yeah. And then that follow-up question, favorite food, you said mac and cheese. And we talked about that. Mine's waffles. For sure. Waffles.
Of course. You really are Leslie Knope.
I love waffles so much.
I love breakfast, but I don't eat breakfast ever. Like, I don't eat breakfast in the morning.
Okay, first of all, that's bad for you.
I know. I
love breakfast. I eat it if I don't eat breakfast, I'll get a migraine.
Really? I can't eat in the morning. I just don't have any sort of appetite.
I'm starving when I wake up.
I'm not. And I love to eat, don't get me wrong, but I don't eat breakfast. But I love breakfast food.
I'm
more? Okay with this. Yeah, one more.
Ooh, I have a really good one that I have a really funny answer to.
I can't wait.
Best Halloween costume you've had?
Oh man. Okay. Dang. I've been political the last 2 years.
Oh, okay.
This past year I was Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Oh, okay.
But I dressed up as the notorious RBG. So I wore like a biggie or like a crown, and so I did that. And then the year before, my goddaughter dressed up as Hillary Clinton, and I dressed up as a parody of Donald Trump. I was Donald Dump, and I taped garbage all over me. I wore like a navy suit, a red tie,
like he would.
Put orange on my face, slicked my hair back. I think that might be one of those, probably. Okay. Tell me what you were.
Oh my god. Okay, so this is like also embarrassing. So, there used to be this like shop, maybe like 15 minutes away that was like completely costume like shop. And I went in there. Oh, another embarrassing fact about me. I used to be into magic. Like I used to do card tricks all the time.
Shut
I'm so gay.
the heck up. I love that.
No, oh my God, I was so gay. So closeted. No, so I went in there. It was like close to Halloween. Halloween's my favorite. Like I call it a holiday because it is.
It is. Oh, it is. I love dressing up. I have a trunk full of costumes.
I love everything Halloween related. I love horror movies. I love.
Oh, I don't like horror
classic horror movies. Let's be real.
Not for me.
I love them. But so I went in there, and then there was this costume, and it was just like, I was in grammar school. I want to say I was in 3rd grade, and it was the donkey from Shrek. I have a picture somewhere, and it's absolutely so embarrassing. It's like this onesie suit, and then the head goes over my head, and it's like on top, so his head is on top of my head. And there was this picture of me doing the doing the finger guns.
Amanda, I need to see it immediately.
It's somewhere in this house, and it's the most embarrassing.
You need to dig it up. Oh, I want it in poster size. I'm gonna put it right next to my Chance the Rapper poster.
Please do.
I promise you I will.
It's so bad.
No doubt. Okay.
Oh,
that's
God.
funny.
That's probably the best
some
Halloween
good shit.
costume. Otherwise, Halloween wise, like I don't. My grandma used to be like a seamstress, and she actually like was super good at it, and she had like a costume shop, and like when I was little, she like sewed a bunch of my costumes, so those were pretty cool, but I don't remember them.
Yeah, I have a thing. Anybody who went to college with me can attest to this. I have like a thing about I would dress up in weird costumes to go to the bar when it wasn't Halloween. I have like a huge ass like Harry Potter-esque trunk that I call my fun trunk, and it is filled with costumes and like sunglasses, hats, suspenders, bow ties, anything weird and costumey, and like
John Wayne Gacy.
Many people in my sorority would like come, and if I was in a sorority, we could talk about that. I was very different than everybody in my sorority, but when we had like date parties and fun things with like fraternities, and there were like theme parties, it was a very common stop to like come to my fun trunk and see if I had something that people could borrow. So yeah, I love dressing up. I have a whoopee cushion costume that I wore to the bar so many times. Like,
my God.
It originated as a Halloween costume and turned into like an outfit that I went to the bar in.
Oh my God, that's great. I remember maybe it was like 3 years ago, me and my best friend at the time, he was a guy, obviously I was a woman, but we gender, we dressed up as Nina and Lance from Portlandia.
Amazing.
So I was the guy and he was the girl, and it turned out really good. Like, he hated the costume. He was like, I look so bad in this, and I was like, we look great.
We need to chronicle a lot. Like, whenever we are posting these out,
we
need to gather
we should make an
photos.
Instagram.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to
for sure. That was a really good one, a good costume. I was just thinking about another one that so the year before that, so maybe 4 years ago, I was Louise from Bob's Burgers, and I still have like the costume. I have like the green shirt my mom sewed for me, so it looks like the dress like she's in, and like the bunny ears are up there. Like, yeah,
incredible.
It was unfortunately raining that day, and I went out with my friends. We still trick-or-treated when I was like in high school. I don't care. I wanted candy.
I'm pretty sure I did too with my friends.
I'm pretty sure I did it in college as well.
Incredible.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna do it this year.
I love it so much. Now that we've talked a bit about fun stuff, why don't we talk about the shooting?
Yeah, why don't we?
And by shooting, I mean shootings and this consistent thing that we are still seeing all the damn time, and not seeing any sort of legislative change or anything. I mean, there's so many facets to it that are so maddening.
I mean, the problem is that I have talked about this so much, and I'm so exhausted.
Yeah, and isn't it effing awful that we are just so exhausted and slightly even desensitized to this shit. You know, like they said the other day that was the 3rd school shooting in 7 days. I didn't even hear about the first 2.
Yeah, there was one.
Where were those?
I don't remember the other one, but I remember, so when Florida happened,
I
was talking to my best friend at the time, Hannah, and she lives in Michigan, and I was texting her about it, and she's like, dude, my friend, who I was best friends, she moved to Florida, her friend got killed in it.
Jesus.
So it just, like, my friend who lived in maybe like 20 minutes away from me in the town of Orland Park, like knew somebody that got shot. So it's becoming a point where it's like 1 in 4 people basically. It almost feels like she knew somebody, and then 2 weeks later, she lives in Michigan now for college, and not her school, but a school nearby had the shooting where it wasn't like they were the guy shot the students, he shot his parents because he was high on coke. But
Jesus Christ.
It happened on campus.
And the parents were killed.
Parents were killed. Kids, in jail. And then so much shit has happened since then. And then, the next one happened. And then it's ranging once a week at this point.
Yeah. I think there's so many parts of it that drive me wild and make my mind just run on. There's so many.
There's so many things that I could...
It's the gun control thing.
It's the whole thing.
It's the fact that this kid shoots up a school and somehow makes it alive to jail. And if any person of color had done this, they would have been killed on the spot.
Oh, yeah.
And apprehended in that way, whereas this kid is... And he's just like a troubled teen. And then a person of color... has a cell phone in their hand, they get murdered.
Shot. And then they have a BB gun, or they have a fake gun. It's a child, and they get shot.
Yeah.
And I think we should make it known that both me and Anna Marie are both white.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good place to start.
We are both white. We so I understand that, like, my opinions. I'm not a person of color.
Right.
So I understand that, but I mean I have feelings about this, and I think I stand with everybody of person of color, and just realizing this is bullshit and this is not okay. And this, and like I was talking to I was in Mexico over spring break with a friend, and we met this Canadian couple, and they were like, yo, what's happening in America? And I was like, wish I could tell you. And this was right after Florida. I think it was right, very close to Florida. And we were talking about gun control, and she was like, the woman, they lived in somewhere near Calgary, and they were like, we don't understand what's with gun control. They're like, we can understand a rifle if you're hunting, but she's like, at that point, I was like, girl, I was like, same, like, I honestly don't understand any guns other than now in this day and age with being a woman and being, I guess I can understand you having a pistol in your house. I really can. Whether you should be carrying on you at all times and have a carry and conceal weapon, I think that's bullshit. And it doesn't make me feel any safer to know that a civilian has a gun. It makes me feel like you're going to fucking shoot me when you get mad.
Think about how, just so many things can play a role in that. And
honestly, like, it's like, I'll be real with you. Like, when I go to school, I constantly have my hand in my pocket on my pepper spray. Ready. Like, I'm taking the L, I'm taking the train, I'm taking, even at school itself, I constantly have it. When I'm at work, I know my escape route if something happens. Yeah. Because God forbid an angry customer comes in.
Yeah, I think all the time. Yeah, think about that. I mean, I think now I'm kind of in back a lot now, so I don't.
Yeah.
But places like where we work are highly targeted.
Yeah.
So it's kind of tough, and I don't know, because it sucks that that's where we're at.
Oh, yeah.
In general, I think, as, getting to sway slightly off of the shooting topic, women, we live in fear, right? And that's really shitty. It's really shitty that I don't have the comfort to just walk around anytime where it's slightly not sunny out and just fear for my life. Yeah. And fear that I'm 5'2" and don't carry, I'm maybe like 135 pounds. If somebody were to come at me, I'm not going to do well. No. Like, I'm not, I don't think I could defend myself. Same. And I live in fear. We have to live in fear. And then now we're sending kids to school with fear. And there's no safe places. Those have been taken away from everyone. And it's just, like, there was that quote from that student in Santa Fe that was like, I just kind of felt like this was going to happen to us.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Like, it eventually was going to happen. It's like, we're, like, our youth.
Well, and it makes me mad that, like, I guess the governor or whoever it was of Texas said, like, we need to have less doors in school. You fucking think that's going to do anything?
I don't think it was a door issue, man. Like, I think it had something to do with guns.
I think the gun, maybe
I can't say... Not that I don't have an answer to this, but without delving really deep, I'm not going to say exactly where I'm at on gun control.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think that we need to be doing
We need to be doing
but
something,
I mean, I could go into big detail about how I feel about it. But I mean, let's just kind of do a cross-reference between America and all these other countries that do not allow people to carry guns at all. And they don't have these things happening.
Well, I think it was...
At least not on the scale that we do.
I think last year there was like an Australian commercial that was going around that was like warning Australians when they go to America to be careful.
Yeah. Isn't that... Well, I mean, Australia... That's the thing, is that Australia had...
They had a mass shooting.
They had a crazy mass shooting.
Banned guns. Hasn't been one since.
And hasn't had one since. So I'm not one to say. My nickname is Ammo. I've never held a gun. So I can't say that like I hunt or I don't, it's not a hobby of mine, but I get that some people enjoy that hunting hobby. Do I think it's necessary to be killing animals? Also, I don't think we need to be doing that. But again, I don't understand that. That's some people's hobbies, and whatever it may be. A hobby isn't going out with malice, you know. So I don't, there's a lot of different standpoints, but I just don't know how we are giving guns to civilians. You can buy a gun at a frickin' like
a gas station at this point.
Yeah. I mean, that's wild. That's wild that we have insane. Just and they get into it's like, this kid and his dad legally own these guns, but that's the thing, like we're giving these guns are in the hands of young kids or anybody who might pick it up and be angry and do something.
Yeah, I don't get it. And I know the whole argument of like, well, this amendment, okay, well, that amendment was written when we had a militia, like a state militia.
We had to shoot with, what were they called, like muskets?
Bayonets or whatever.
Yeah,
they
whatever
had bayonets at the end of them and like. Yeah.
Whatever the hell they were, like, and that was like.
I guess my whole point is that you don't fucking need an AK-47.
No,
those are made for one reason.
Not.
To kill many people within a split second.
Yeah.
Why do we need that?
Why is
that is made for mass war, like basically mass destruction at that point.
If you're in a war zone, you should have that gun. But your day-to-day life in America is
do not fucking need it.
No. I mean, I just it bothers me so much just how I mean, hats off to Parkland. And all those kids.
All those kids are amazing. Like, I cannot.
It is incredible.
I'm so happy that we're. Yeah.
It's incredible because a friend of mine, a friend I deeply respect, she has a lot of just brilliant mind. She has a brilliant mind. She said, like, thank God for these Parkland kids because they're helping us fight this, like, collective amnesia that we feel. Yeah. And that's kind of it. Like, they just keep talking about it. They're relentless.
Yeah.
And we have to be because here we are. They're trying to make a change, and here we are though again. Like we're still having this happen, and yet we still aren't getting anywhere. We're not. No changes are being made because mass shootings are done by American white men, and
tell me about it.
They're just troubled, and they're this and this. But
the thing is
again, like people of color are reaching into their pockets and getting shot.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is that I think it becomes to a point that it's become so. These people that are doing all this are so entitled.
Yeah. That
they think that, listen, I'm this person and I should get my way. Why don't I go do this? It doesn't work that way, man.
No.
When has that turned out successful? Let me tell you, never.
It's just It's so hard because where do you begin? Like where to, I think the Parkland kids are doing a great job at just doing whatever they can.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing. It's like a lot of people are like, where do we start? How do we, and it's like, you just got to do, you just got to do something. And I think the kids in Parkland are stepping up. And I hope that, Santa Fe follows. And I hope that I just hope something happens. And that's silly because I'm sitting here being like, hope. I'm sure there's things on my level that I can be doing that are much more efficient and proactive. And maybe that's something I need to sit back and say, okay, what is it that I can do here? And that I want to do. But it's unfortunately exhausting to.
It's so exhausting.
I've been getting so many notifications on my phone. And like when I get a news notification from like CNN, terrified. I immediately assume that I'm about to be told another
mass shooting, like
something.
Afraid to go in public, basically at this point, sort of idea, like.
And that's what it is now, right? Because I mean, there's no safe places.
There's no, and they when I was a kid, they would teach me that school was a safe place.
Yeah,
where you could
school
go.
is like, yeah.
It's not anymore.
It's not, and that makes me sad that we have kids. And I don't know, maybe this is me, but I loved learning when I was a kid.
Oh,
I loved
same.
going to school.
I love going to school.
And if there were as many shootings now, like then, as there are now, I would have been horrified as a kid to go to school.
Oh, for sure.
And that sucks because there are children with anxiety. There are children that like that fear can ruin them.
There's children with people that are where their homes are not a safe place, and they thought that this would be a safe place, and it's not anymore.
So many kids go to school for a meal, to be away from all the trauma that they're experiencing in their home, and to just as an escape, and it's not an escape anymore. They're probably in more harm's way.
It's just absolutely
it's tough. So I'm trying to just I understand, educate.
The thing is you don't even know where to go with it.
Because there's just so many different angles and things that need to be addressed.
Yeah, you can talk about it. You can you can call your senators. You can call Congress. You can write letters. But at the end of the day, it's Congress and it's the Senate that's making the decisions. And they ain't getting any shit done.
Nope. No. I mean, because we're dominated by a party
that wants
gets incredibly funded by the NRA. So why would they ever go against that? And that's so many things. I mean, so many things about our current political climate and the presidency and the House, the Senate, all of Congress is dominated by a certain party, and it's all about like immediate rewards. Like they're not going to pull out from NRA because they're getting money, and we're not going to focus on the environment because it's too much money right now, and they don't think about the long-term sustainability. Yeah. There's which is another topic, right? But there's so many. Yeah. We're kind of stuck, and unfortunately, I don't know when we're going to see that change, because it has to be a total upheaval of what we have, and everything needs to be overturned, and that type of change does not happen overnight, and that's a scary thing, because every single day we can be faced with another thing, and we are like 3 shootings in 7 days. So every day that we're not making a change is like another damn day that children's lives and all Americans' lives are on the line. Yeah.
I mean, it's...
We're just
Meanwhile, the president's going after Amazon for some bullshit reason.
I can't even talk about...
But that's what his priority is.
Yeah,
it just makes me sad. Like, I remember...
I probably sound like a moron right now, but
There's just so much.
There's so much, and I'm so
I remember
frustrated.
the day that he got elected. I cried.
Oh yeah, I was
sitting in this bed, and I was crying. I was like, there go, as a queer, woman in America. Yeah. My rights are gonna be taken away. I'm just gonna be downgraded. Like, I can honestly say that I've worked in customer service since I was 19. I'm 22 now. I have seen a change in relations between a customer and an employee, even in different backgrounds and different like settings, that since he's gotten elected, or since he started running, it was like, because since he's rude, that gives them a reason to be rude.
We are simply empowering assholes to be more of assholes.
We're empowering hate at this point, and it just doesn't make sense to me.
It's against everything we've been working for and like moving towards. And I mean, for the election, I was with a good group of my friends. We were at a bar in Boys Town, so in the like gay quote unquote gayborhood of Chicago. And it was really, I mean, devastating to be there. So many people just wrecked by what our country was becoming. And that's the thing, is that there were so many people that were under attack. I lost somebody, like a good friend of mine, based on that election. Just one, surprisingly enough, but I basically, said to her, I was like, she said a lot of things to me. And I said to her, I was like, I think the problem is that you don't see a problem because of just how privileged you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that's an unfortunate thing for you. It's a very good thing that you've lived the life that you lead, because that's fortunate for you. However, your privilege is blinding you to what this means for so many people. Like, you didn't wake up today and fear for any of your rights being taken from you. Whereas many Americans woke up that next day and didn't know what future held for them anymore.
It kind of reminded me of like the day after 9/11 happened.
Yeah. It was you could like see the collective anxiety in the air, you know?
It was terrible.
It was tense.
And I remember after when 9/11 happened, they the movie that they were going to release, What About Bob, which is a hilarious movie if any of you haven't seen. It was a comedy, and they were supposed to be released like 2 weeks later, and they bumped up the release and was like, and even with SNL, they went on the next night and were like, we need to make people laugh because this is a terrible point in American. And it reminded me of that, but I don't feel like I feel like we were so, not saying that this was a worse thing than 9/11, because definitely people lost their lives in 9/11, but people were so somber and so like honestly nobody knew what to do. That nothing happened those next couple of days, that it was just like, it felt like
it was like, what the fuck now?
Yeah, it felt like you were living in like this trance that like never ended.
When I about 2 months ago, I went back to Spain for about 2 weeks to really just visit old friends, and every person that I saw and came in contact to was like, how did you guys let this happen?
Tell me about it. Yeah.
I mean, they were just like, we all thought that this was a joke. And like our country is essentially like a laughing joke.
It's a joke.
And this is the precedent we're setting, right? Like, we have people like Kanye West.
Yeah, that's another topic.
Another topic, and don't get me wrong, Kanye is an artist and with great talent, but nowhere in the world does somebody like Kanye West or Donald Trump qualify for the president of the United States. But because we have put a man like Donald Trump in office, we've opened up the goddamn floodgates.
Oh yeah,
and like our government is literally a joke.
It's a joke. It's a joke, and it's becoming more and more.
But it's not funny. It's not a funny joke.
Oh no, it's not.
It's a grave mistake.
It's a mistake, and it's more and more things are coming about the government. And I think even one to pull out of this would be like the Me Too movement, like the whole. There's literally an elevator in the Senate or Congress that like women don't go into because they know in there is when like harassment happens. Yeah, and nobody has heard about that since it was announced that happened. Nothing else has happened about that.
Yep.
It's been slid under the rug because, Donald Trump is doing this and he's doing this and he's on Twitter doing this and he's...
Yep. And that's just, I think if we're trying to find positives here, look at the way we've had such a big social movement. It feels like a revolution.
It really does, yeah.
And that's a cool thing. It's cool to see. It's cool to feel like... And again, we live in Chicago. We live in a pretty blue state. We live in a pretty liberal, open environment for the most part. So most of the people that I'm surrounded with in my life are open-minded, liberal, progressive type of people. Mm-hmm. But still seeing people from all over like rise up in this kind of revolution. It's just cool to know that we're here and that it's a lot of us that are on this side together. And to me, it feels like the majority. That might be because I'm being surrounded by, because of my environment. Exactly, I am surrounded, but to me, it feels like collectively we're on the side.
All my friends, I honestly don't. I can think of some that are more, maybe more liberal, more, I don't know, whatever, than one another. But mostly on the side, don't support Trump, don't support whatever. Right. But I have family members that do.
Sure, same.
And that's hard, but it's just a hard situation because at that point where people are like, why is it okay if you're okay with Mitt Romney with not Donald Trump? Is because I could stand with Mitt Romney for 4 years.
At this point, it's not a political party thing. It's a humanity thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's a problem. It's like, sure, Mitt Romney.
Sure, John McCain. I can do that. That's
Hell
fine.
no, Donald Trump. You know, just we could talk about that for a while, but that's just, that's just the thing. I think it's more important than ever now, though, that we need to be engaging in conversations with people who do not see things the way that we do, which is difficult because right now, again, this climate that we're in is really tense and really angry, and it's very easy to get heated up and get into very non-productive, unproductive arguments that they just become arguments rather than a discussion. But I think now more than ever, we need to be trying to find common grounds and having these conversations because right now it just feels like there are two sides of this country and we don't know how to get to, we're very polarized right now.
Oh, yeah. God, it's just such a heavy topic to talk about that, like, every couple of days something goes out, and my parents, they watch, I wake up around, I don't know, 8, days that I don't work, that I have to wake up super early, I wake up around 8, go downstairs, I have my breakfast, and CNN is on, like, every day. Then it's like, well, all right, what's going on now? Like, what news story is Donald Trump making?
Or what tragedy have we been hit? It's
just hard to see.
It's tough right now, so
that's why, and I think that's mainly why I try to stay off of social media as much as I have. I have Facebook. I deleted the app from my phone, so I physically have to go into Safari and log in, and it's just like a hassle. So I don't do it half the time. I go on maybe sometimes once a day, sometimes once every 3 days. Like, and it's honestly like been such a stress reliever that I don't have to see it. I go on Twitter, but like on Twitter, I scroll so fast, and I'm like, I give myself like 3 seconds. I'm like, all right, I'm done, and that's it, and I go. But at the same time, it's like the updates from like CNN, the updates from the news, updates. I see it, and I just, like, I see it, I try to comprehend it, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do with those feelings.
It's defeating. I don't really know. I just don't know. I don't even know. There's a lot to be done. There's a lot that needs to be done, and we just keep getting slapped in the face with more shit, essentially. And it's heavy. It's super fucking
so heavy.
But
I mean, like we said, I mean, the revolution of like people going out in the streets. I mean, even for me, like, I was at school. I mean, I ended a couple weeks ago, but I saw posters all around campus. I mean, I go to a fine arts school, so it's a little bit different, but I know other schools were doing major walkouts. For both guns, for both political reasons. To see that happening and to be a part of that is absolutely, like, it just is liberating. I think that's like the one positive we have to take from it is that people are actually doing something. Like, we're finally awake, Finally, and we're paying attention. It took this long, but
I have, little cousin, my goddaughter is 4, and she's aware of what's going on, and that's wild. And maybe it's tough. Maybe kids don't need to know, but at least they know now. Like, they're aware. I can't say that I was ever so politically charged before my whole life because I never felt so threatened. And now it's like I need to be. I have to wake up. I have to be a part of this. There's no other option.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know.
It's just like you have to be engaged, but also at the same time you need to step away because we know it's such a heavy political.
It's heavy.
Man. Let's end on that note of that topic because
let's end on that.
Yeah.
That's heavy as hell.
So heavy.
Onward. Are we signing off?
I don't know. Is there anything else that's happening?
I mean, there's a lot of things going on.
There's too many things.
There's
too many things in my brain.
I think we hit the points that we
discussed.
Yeah.
Should we like end with like something happy? Because it was super heavy.
Yeah, we definitely went for that.
Let me think about what had made me happy.
I have a fun fact.
Yeah.
So I found out like a month ago.
Oh, we were supposed to like tell each other something that like we didn't know about. Let's do it.
Let's do it. So apparently the reason why we have this, what is this called here? Like between your nose and your lips.
The
like,
weenus?
Isn't the weenus on your elbow?
It is, yeah.
Like your cleft thing here?
Oh, cleft lip. Like when people, yeah.
So the reason why we have that, and we have this like little
snot
bar.
Is it literally for snot? Are you about to tell me?
No. So when we're babies, when we're fetuses, genuinely, and our bodies are being formed, our like faces and heads get from like the back front. like from the back of our head, skull, all the way to the front. And literally the last thing that comes together is right above our lip and our nose. So we have this like little thing. It's kind of like a zipper. Like that's the last forming thing, and
Too
it's in
much
the
for my
middle.
brain right now.
Yeah, so that's that. That's my fact for you.
So let's be real. I didn't research a fact because I was super lazy.
Why don't you tell me a funny joke? Just kidding.
I don't have any jokes.
What's something else?
Oh, God. I know facts about random shit. Let me think about something.
Yeah.
God, everything. I don't know anything at this moment in time. I could tell you like a Disney fact.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Do you want to hear? Okay, want to hear my favorite Walt Disney story?
Yes.
I feel like I've told you this.
Maybe.
Did you see Saving Mr. Banks?
Yes.
Okay, so you know the scene.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Okay, but you remember the scene? Okay, so there's a scene with the Sherman Brothers who wrote most of the music for Disney films. They like after that he found them, he stuck with them because they're amazing songwriters. There's a scene where he's playing "Feed the Birds."
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that song?
Yes.
It's a fantastic Disney song, one of my favorites. "Feed the Birds" was what is the first actual Disney song that's written about charity, and the scene in Saving Mr. Banks is pretty true to the story itself that the Sherman Brothers say in many documentaries about Walt Disney that I've seen almost probably every single one. But the story goes is that Walt Disney would go in on a Friday afternoon before leaving for the weekend to the Sherman Brothers office on the Disney campus sort of idea and be like, can you guys play a song for me? And they would play "Feed the Birds." And he would stare out the window, look at it. And there were a couple times where he would turn around and he'd have tears in his eyes. And the one time he turned to them after that, and he would sing along as well. And he said, that's what it's all about, referring to charity and referring to make people happy, and left. And that was like, and then
that's a cool,
I think the 50th anniversary of Disneyland. Because it was just the 60th, I believe. That's when I went. That's when it was the 60th, the Diamond Celebration. They had Richard Sherman, Richard, because Bob I think died. He's unfortunately he has passed since, but Richard Sherman came and played like "Feed the Birds" on the day that it opened, this actual 50th anniversary, on the piano, had it in front of the castle, and a goddamn pigeon or dove or whatever, like not planned at all, flew and landed on his piano while he was playing it. And there's like video footage online, and I think I don't quote me on this, but I think Idina Menzel sang that day.
Incredible. And
it was just like a super weird coincidence.
One of those things.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's a cool story.
Yeah.
Good fact. I
good
like
fact.
That.
Ending on a good note.
Ending on a very good note.
How do we say bye?
Do we want to do some weird tagline?
I don't have one.
Like "catch you later, bitches." That's pretty aggressive.
That's really aggressive. I like it though. Thoughts with thought.
For a while, we thought that we were going to name this podcast.
It would be a great name.
It's just that who knows how long it's going to be relevant.
Exactly, that's the thing.
We will do a segment called Thoughts for Thoughts.
How
about we say "catch you later, thoughts"?
That sounds so aggressive.
It is aggressive.
I mean, are millennials aggressive?
Typically.
I guess.
We're lazy but
we're
also
lazy.
aggressive.
We don't want to get in any kind of confrontation.
How about like we'll see you when we see you?
We'll see you when this ever gets online. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll work on this.
We'll figure it out.
All right.
That's my sign off. We'll fucking figure this out.
We'll figure it out. That should just be it. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Hey, this is Amanda from Millennial Talk. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. If you enjoyed, share with your friends, your family, neighbors, loved ones, strangers, whoever you want, and definitely check back for future episodes.